The rosemary was still fragrant on my fingertips. I was in the middle of prepping a marinade for a lamb roast I was bringing to a dinner party at my son's place. My hands moving on autopilot, a recipe I knew by heart. My phone buzzed on the granite countertop, a sharp, intrusive sound in my quiet kitchen. I wiped my hands on a towel and picked it up. A text from my daughter-in-law, Sophia. "You're not invited to dinner. I don't want you here." That was it. 2 short, brutal sentences. No greeting, no explanation, just a digital execution. Sent at 4:17 p.m. on the very day I was supposed to arrive. You know that feeling in the pit of your stomach? That betrayal? Stick with me, because what I did next changed everything. Don't you dare miss this. Hit subscribe right now, because you won't believe how this ends. I had paid for that dinner. I had covered the down payment on their house in the Denver suburbs, a house whose mountain view I'd only seen in pictures. I paid the staggering hospital bills when their daughter Lily was born. I funded their honeymoon in Cancun, their groceries, their Wi-Fi, for years. And now, I wasn't wanted. My fingers moved with a strange, detached calm. I texted back one word, "Okay." Then I opened the black ledger I kept in my desk drawer. Every transaction was meticulously logged. $120 for a designer baby stroller, $5,000 for their wedding DJ, $20,500 for the deposit on their new home. Every gift, every loan, over 150 entries. I didn't scream, I didn't call, I didn't confront. I simply vanished. I deleted the digital backup files, I stopped the bank alerts, I ended the check-in calls. They had mistaken my love for a lifeline. They had no idea they had just cut the rope themselves. But the real poison hadn't started with a text. It started 3 months earlier with a whisper I was never supposed to hear. It was a crisp spring evening in Boulder. I'd driven across town to drop off a care package. Homemade soup, frozen meals, diapers. Sophia answered the door with her phone pressed to her ear. "Yeah, she's here again," she muttered, her voice sharp with annoyance. It carried clear as a bell from the Bluetooth speaker on the entry table. "I swear she just looks for excuses to show up." My heart seized. She knew I could hear. When she finally turned to me, her smile was a thin, brittle thing. "Oh, hi, Evelyn. That's so kind of you. Again." I handed her the bag, nodded silently, and walked back to my car. That was the first time I considered pulling back. But I didn't. Not yet. My son, Robert, had always been a gentle soul. He used to call me every Sunday, his voice a warm counterpoint to my quiet house. But ever since Sophia, those calls faded. The volume on our relationship was slowly being turned down by another hand. Have you ever felt yourself becoming a ghost in your own family's life? It's a special kind of pain. If you know it, you need to see how this plays out. Subscribe right now. Don't be the last to know how to fight back. I didn't cry after her text. I didn't feel anger. What I felt was a deep, chilling silence inside me. A silence that told me I had let this go on for far too long. I sat down at my computer. I paused the automatic rent top-up. I canceled the upcoming mortgage contribution. I changed the passwords to the shared Netflix, Hulu, the Amazon Prime account, everything. I didn't send an email. I didn't give a warning. I simply unplugged myself from the matrix of their comfort. 2 days passed in quiet bliss. Then the text started. "Hey Evelyn, did something happen with the rent check? Mom, Netflix isn't working. Did you change the password? Can you check the grocery card?" It was declined at Whole Foods. I said nothing. Silence is the loudest reply. On the 4th day, Robert called. I let it ring. He called again and again. 66 missed calls by the end of the week. But still, no apology. Not one question about how I was. Just panic. That's when I knew for certain they didn't miss me. They missed my money. I wasn't finished. I drafted a formal legal letter, itemizing every major payment as a temporary loan, subject to recovery if not acknowledged as a gift in writing. It wasn't about revenge. It was about respect. After a full week of my silence, a different message came through from Robert. "Mom, please talk to me. What's going on? Sophia says you're mad because of a misunderstanding." A misunderstanding? The word was an insult. "You're not invited to dinner. I don't want you here." How much clearer could it be? I typed back one word. "Why?" He replied instantly. "Why what?" The fact that he didn't even understand the question told me everything. I didn't bother to explain. See that? The sheer audacity. If you're not subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? A written invitation? You won't get one. Hit that button and ring the bell because the fallout is legendary. Then came Robert's birthday dinner, the one I wasn't invited to, but word had gotten around. One of Robert's oldest friends, Mike, had seen the guest list and called me. I told him the truth. Halfway through the party, as guests laughed in the backyard, someone asked, "Hey Robert, is your mom coming later?" Sophia tensed. Robert shifted uncomfortably. She couldn't make it. Mike, standing nearby, spoke up, his voice carrying, "No, man, she wasn't invited." The laughter died. A ripple of murmurs went through the crowd. A few guests quietly got up and left. One woman returned the gift she had brought. By the end of the night, only a handful of people remained. A few days later, a handwritten letter arrived from Robert. "Mom, I'm sorry. You didn't deserve any of this. I don't know when I stopped seeing you as a person and started seeing you as just help. I was too afraid to disappoint Sophia, and I let her say things I should have stood up against. I want to try again, not with money, just with me, your son, if there's still a chance." He had written it by hand. That was the boy I remembered. But I didn't know the man he had become. I needed time. It started with a knock on my door one morning. There stood Robert, holding baby Lily in his arms. No Sophia. He looked exhausted. "Mom," he said softly, "I didn't know where else to go. This is the moment of truth. Your family could turn on you tomorrow. Will you know what to do? You need to be ready. Subscribe now. This channel is your arsenal. Don't get caught off guard." He finally broke. Sophia had left, packed a suitcase, and walked out. She said I needed to figure out who I was loyal to. "And have you?" I asked. He looked up, his eyes filled with a pain that mirrored my own. I thought I was, but the more I tried to keep peace with her, the more I lost pieces of myself, and of you, Mom. I know I let things go too far. I know I let her disrespect you, but you've always been the only person who truly had my back, and I miss you." There it was, the little boy in a grown man's body. "You let me become invisible in your life, Robert." "I know," he whispered. "And now that she's gone, you remember me." His eyes filled with tears. "That hurts." Maybe it wasn't about punishing him anymore. Maybe it was about letting him earn his way back. He did. He won joint custody. The judge ruled against Sophia's financial demands. She became a ghost in their lives, canceling visits, missing calls. She had wanted control, not responsibility. One night, while tucking Lily into bed, she whispered, "Grandma, sing the song." I smiled and started humming the same lullaby I used to sing to Robert. Her tiny eyes fluttered shut. In that moment, I realized this story wasn't about loss. It was about legacy. It was about the strength to draw a line in the sand and the patience to see who would cross it with grace. It was about showing the next generation what love truly looks like. Firm, gentle, honest, and always, always earned. This is the hard truth they don't want you to hear. If this story didn't make you hit subscribe instantly, I don't know what will. But if you're still stubborn, if you're still lurking, do me a favor. Go down to the comments and tell me why. Tell me why you won't join a community that fights back against being used. I dare you. For everyone else, welcome to the family. See you in the next video.